Hi, I'm spending a bit of time creating today, so I figured why not turn on the camera and create with you. So my daughter is home and she is in the background listening to some Taylor Swift playing on her iPad, so you may hear some background music. And I'm over here creating. So I have in front of me some really gorgeous digitals from Sam Poole, and I'm over here trying to create some sort of tag or something, and just really trying to get going creating something. So many of my pockets of free time are spent organizing lace, packing orders, things like that, which really honestly is very fun for me, but I really want to create something. I'm sending some packages out and I really enjoy sending some little handmade things with packages. So I have a bunch of different things that I am able to play with. I've got some of these gorgeous tags. This is one of the beautiful background papers, and I'm going to link the kits that I use below, and I've made some tags already with them. And I kind of had a picture in my mind of what I wanted to do, and it's turning out a little different, and that's okay. I have a bunch of the Polaroids from the new little garden set, which are just gorgeous. Love the pops of blue, so beautiful. And there are some vintage pictures here. So I started by creating a tag or getting the elements together to create a tag. And I started kind of piecing things. I was cutting out lace bits and I was like putting things around and kind of seeing how they looked. And I got a little pin and clipped them together. I started just with that, like clipping them together, because I knew I wanted to use these items and I wanted to keep them together. And then when I clipped them to hold them together, I thought, well, that's kind of cute just how that is, like a little deconstructed tag. So, and I found a piece of vintage fabric that I put in the back, and I'm not quite done with it, but I kind of like this idea, so I'm going to go with it. And I'm going to try to create a few more things like this. So for this little paper here, I used some of these gorgeous Polaroids from one of Sam's digital kits, the new, oh gosh, and I should know the name, and I should have looked up the name before I started filming, Sam, I'm so sorry. But this is her newest garden kit that she released, and so I will link it below with the appropriate name, but it is so pretty. So I just actually cut the bottom, which is what, you know, makes it look like a Polaroid, but I cut the bottom off because I was trying to fit it onto this little tag. And then I hung this little piece here because I was going to use it to put the name of the person that this is going to. So I kind of wanted to go with this, and I was going to put another one together. So I wanted to put one together with you. So I did use one of these wider laces. Let me find it. Here we go. So I have one of these new wider laces, and it's so pretty. It's one of the gorgeous new ones from France, and I really, really like this little motif here. But this was a bit too big for what I wanted to use it for, so I figured I'll just cut out the little motif. So, oh, those scissors are too big. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut out another one and get this ready for my next cluster. I've really been really into deconstructing laces and stuff lately to get kind of a new look, and also I've been making flowers. And when I make flowers, sometimes I'll cut the lace right down the middle so that I can use the border as the flower edge and get kind of like 2 for 1 from that same piece of lace that I want to use. It's also a neat way to stagger the layers if you want to make a flower from one particular kind of lace. For example, I have this really pretty shimmery lace here, and I was wanting to make a flower, but it's too wide. So I did cut it down the middle, and I made a bigger layer and a smaller one with that same lace. And that's just from one piece of lace, and I cut it down and then I sewed both sides. So after doing that, I started cutting out little pieces of things, and I'm really enjoying it. The next piece of lace that I used is actually from one of these bigger laces here, and I was cutting it out to kind of use as like a little border, and then I went even a step further and cut out this little flower to use, and I like leaving the edges kind of rough to have a bit of netting on the edge there. think I cut off the little stem last time. Let me do that again. Okay. Right, let me move this out of the way. So I had a couple of little flower bits I wanted to use. Let's see. I think I'm going to use this one. This one's so beautiful. I'm going to use one of these. These tags are gorgeous. And I just printed these on regular white cardstock. Some of the background papers, what I'll do is when I print the print that I like, and then I'll print something on the back so that I already have it backed. I don't have to glue it onto there. It's just backed already. Let's see. I really like this one. I think I used that one on the last one. Oh, I like that dark one with the dark background. All right, I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to use one of the little bits that I cut off from the bottom. Let me make sure that that's shabbied up. So yeah, today is the first weekday of my spring break. I get the whole week off. And then when I return next week, I have 10 more weeks of the school year. And then I am resigning. I'm really excited. I've already put in my resignation. I've been in education for almost 2 decades now. This is my 17th year. I have held different positions. I was mainly a 3rd grade teacher for 13 years, 12 years, long time. And then I worked with ESE students, exceptional education students, for several years. And now I am an ESE specialist. I work with all of my ESE teachers in our ESE department to create IEPs, to make sure that we have plans in place for students, and I absolutely love it. But it is probably the most stressful thing I've ever done. And I have been doing a lot of reflecting this past year, and I need to take a break. I turned 40. A lot of things have really happened over the last year or two in my personal life. I'm just going to shabby this up a little, so I'm using my scissors. And yeah, I've never really given myself the chance to put all of my time and energy into this shop. I just reopened my shop after being closed for about 5 or 6 years to raise my daughter, and she is now 6 and definitely independent. And so yeah, anyway, long-winded way of me saying I'm resigning at the end of the year. I've chatted with my principal. You know, if things change, I can always go back. I'm leaving the right way. I'm not leaving, you know, I'm making sure somebody's trained before I go. So all those things. I would never leave without my students and my families having the support they needed to continue on. And there's some wonderful staff that, you know, I'm leaving behind there, but I'm trying to figure out if I want to use this. But yeah, anyway, so if you're listening, I'm super excited that I'll have a lot more time to craft, create, focus on the shop. Lots and lots of plans, but I'm really just enjoying this week off, and then we enter the final countdown. So, all right, let's see. I'm going to use a bit of this, and it's kind of already, I cut it. The edges were nice and shabby, but I cut it, so now they're like too perfect. It's okay. Just going to shabby them up a little bit. And I still use this. This is from forever ago. Oh, that one's already shabby. Good. I love it though. I should probably update some of my tools at some point. I'm just going to use, actually, I don't want to cut this. I want to tear it. It's just really soft muslin. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to start assembling. Oh, I need a little, where's my crocodile? I'm going to do just the tiniest little right there. And the tiniest little hole in this. Just eyeball these. I don't measure. Maybe I should. That's okay. Okay, so I'm going to then take one of these little pins, bulb pin, I think they're called, and I'm just going to start layering. So I want this little thing in the front. I want, let's see, I'll use that to kind of be at the top. Then I want my picture, beautiful, beautiful image. And then let's see, I'd like to have this. I'll just pin it through somewhere where there's already, I look for somewhere there's already a bit of a gap in the fibers so that I'm not putting another hole in the lace. Use my tag and a piece of muslin. Let's see, then this one I did put a grommet in. And then I'll get this. I want it showing the fringe at the top. So I want like that fringe to show up there. And then I will pin it together. And there we go. I just have like a little deconstructed tag cluster. So I don't know if I'm going to keep it this way. I think so. I like it. I think it looks cute. I may have a totally different idea in a few moments, but yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and make some of these. I did make one tag, so I'll show you. This is just using that really, really beautiful background paper from the Sam Poole collection. It's using one of her Polaroids in the back. I love that date showing, and that's why I wanted to use it. I wasn't really wanting to cover up the Polaroid at first, but then I really wanted to put this image. It's so sweet. I love this mom and little girl. And then I used some itty bitty teeny flowers that I made, some lace in the background, and then I did use this lace on the back of the tag, so just the edge was peeking through, and I liked the look of that. Just give it a little bit of a border. A bit of dainty lace and silk ribbon to trim the top. So I have that. And that was, let's see, what was I going to show you? Oh, so one of the videos that I want to do eventually coming up soon is flowers, making flowers. I've had a couple of people ask me about that. So I'm just going to kind of show you, and then I will do a video tutorial at some point. Give me some time. I'll be a lot more active after June. Well, I told my husband I'm gonna need like a 2 to 3 week decompression time, maybe less. But he says he's really excited because he thinks that when he gets home, he's gonna have baked goods every day. Like, I'm gonna bake bread, I'm gonna do all these baking things, because I love baking, and I love making food from scratch. And I do it over the summer, but during the school year, I just don't. So he thinks he's gonna get, gourmet meals every day, but I don't know that that's gonna happen. But regardless, I'm gonna need like a 2 to 3 week decompression period, and then I'll start making stuff. So anyway, flowers, I'm gonna be a lot more active with my videos. I'm gonna do some sort of flower tutorial for you guys, just explaining how I pick the laces, how I measure the lengths, if I measure the lengths, how I sew them, what thread I use, all the things. And what you see here is just a bunch of layers, and this is actually the process that I have found works best for me. I like to sew, and when I get in the habit of sewing, I just want to sew. And so I'll have a bucket of lace near me, and I just sew a bunch of layers. And then when I get to a project, that's when I start picking out the different layers that I want to use and putting them together to see what looks good for that particular project. So typically when I'm making a project, I'll get out my little flower bowl and put some layers together. Sometimes I do pick out specific laces to use with specific projects, but a lot of times I'll just go to like my flower bowl and pick out the layers I want to use. So this video was a little random, but I wanted to really film the process today and try to get a video out. I know that I am very, very, very slow getting videos out, and I appreciate those of you that are still subscribed to me and that are hanging on, and I promise to put a lot more time and effort into this channel in a few months. So I hope everyone is having a wonderful day, and if you have spring break this week or last week or next week coming up, enjoy it. I certainly plan to, and I will be back when I can. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.